fill regions can be used to mask or cover up or crosshatch any area in a 2D view. It wouldn't matter where you are. So we could even just go up to a floor plan. And for some reason, we want to mask something out. No, I'm going to turn my trees off here, hide that category. For whatever reason, I'm not sure why, I want to mask something out. So let's just use this as our little playground over here. So now I go up to detailing, annotate, and then under detail we have what is called a region. If you click the flyout, we have a filled region and we have a masking region. Okay, quite similar. You form a closed polygon and you can have inner closed polygons as well. Okay, so if you look here, it says filled region creates a 2D view specific graphic with a fill pattern and a boundary line. A filled region contains a drafting fill based scale. Okay, so it's if you change the scale, the pattern that you put inside there will get scaled. So really, it's kind of like a hatching in AutoCAD. You form an outline boundary, you form what type of line the boundary has. It might be invisible. You can see on that earth one that the outer boundary of the earth is actually a hidden invisible line. A masking region is very similar, but the purpose of a masking region is to block something out. Okay, so when you place a 2x6 or when you draw something, you can create what is a masking region, and that will hide things, and you can use Boolean front to back operations on that. So they're quite similar. So let's start with filled region. So we say filled region. First thing, we go into sketch mode. And then we want to go over here and look at the type. Same thing with everything. It wouldn't matter if it's a door or a window or a roof. Check your types, check your instance properties, check your type properties. Once you place the object, you might notice you have more instance properties that show up. They only show up after the object is created. So let's just have a look. Filled region diagonal crosshatch. That's the name of the current filled region type. So hit edit type. Inside of there, it says, okay, this is the name. What other ones is there? Well, there's more. Diagonal crosshatching transparent, diagonal down transparent, okay, diagonal up, etc. So the transparent means that you will see what's behind it. And other than that, it's really just hatch patterns, and you can create your own, okay? And what happens is the filled region uses what is called a fill pattern. Okay, fill patterns are controlled under manage. Under additional settings, you'll see there's fill patterns. These are nested within this diagonal crosshatch filled region. So this is a filled region, this is the type, and this is nested within that. And you can control that through manage and through additional settings. Okay, so this particular one says use this fill pattern. Okay, background is opaque, which means it's not transparent. The line weight is going to be a thin line and it's going to be black. Okay, so that's good. Now, that is the hatching part. We'll leave that the way it is. The actual border of the area is going to take on this. So if I go in here and say, okay, I'm going to use a let's go with a wide line. And I can use any one of these shapes. I can start with a line and move my way over. Okay, then I can switch to an arc, whichever way I want. Then I can, go back to line. Oh, I forgot to, okay, we'll leave that there. Back to line, okay. It'll snap to the closing. This is a wide line. When I hit finish, it's going to fill that with a diagonal cross hatching that is opaque. If I pick on this object and I go into here and I say, sorry, you're transparent, then all of the types in the project of this will take on that new property. I can take this guy and I can move it around. Okay. If I click on it, I can say, oh, sorry, you're not a diagonal, you are diagonal up, or you are, diagonal down transparent. So once you have it, you can click on here. You can also change these grips quite nicely. I'm not sure what the arc will do. It's just gonna be limited, but you can grip and stretch these guys. So this is a filled region. Okay, and you can do this in a plan, in a section, in a site plan, any 2D view. So there's really two parts. There's the border. If you say edit boundary and you hover over here and click tab, you can change the border lines. Okay, what happens if we change only two of them? Pick those two and change them to be footing lines. Click out, finish. I actually have a filled region with different line types. So the inside is defined by the fill pattern type. The border is controlled by going in here and picking on here and seeing what type it is. If you pick on here, this will automatically come up. Okay, so we've got all of our line types. So these are line types. These are fill patterns. So remember what we've seen earlier, manage, okay, additional settings. Guess what? There's our line styles, okay, inside of here. Those are the lines these are the lines you can use for the border, and you can make new ones. Okay, we showed you that. And then the fill pattern, additional settings, is under fill patterns, line styles, line weights, fill patterns. Okay, these, no, those are line patterns. Additional settings at the top, fill patterns. So these are your fill patterns, and you have drafting fill patterns and you have model fill patterns. Model don't change with the scale. Drafting will change with the scale. So if you have it like on a, it depends on what type of, how you want to do it. Drafting will read the scale and hatch accordingly. Model is a hard-coded size. So you make your choice. If you switch to model, you have model fill patterns. And then we have drafting fill patterns. You can hit edit and you can hit new. We've got more CAD clips on this. You can do a search on our site for videos on that. So that is how this is being controlled. Additional settings, line styles, fill patterns, okay, and then the actual object itself, which is a detail item, filled region. Okay, so that's our filled region, and next we'll talk about masking regions.